Hi guys, happy... What is today? Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Woohoo. Alright, so, right back into, God, I wish I remembered who wrote this book. The Children of Cain. I do not know. Michael Howard, I think. I hope. So yeah, I really urge you guys to go pick this book up. Alright, so, where did we leave off? Oh, initiation last time. It's just so amazing the way he explains everything, the way I love it. And as you get further into the book, it does go into Cornish craft and then Devonshire witchcraft too. So the practices. Alright, so the process of initiation, or induction into witchcraft, obviously, is a long and a complex process. After initial screening, most traditions insist on the neophyte serving an apprenticeship or a probationary training period of a year and a day. So, it's not just Wicca that has the year and a day thing. During this period, a senior member of the group or tradition assesses them. Tradition assesses them for their suitability and worthiness as a candidate for initiation. So this period also gives the neophyte the opportunity of learning something of the nature, or of the outer nature of the tradition, and have a chance to meet its members socially to see if they are compatible. So yeah, that's all about that. Well, while few, if any, old crafters are primarily interested in this side of things, it is important that people who are working together magically, in this side of, magically working together, can also interact socially. So yeah, that would be a pretty big and important part if you couldn't interact anyway, socially. So in an ideal situation, they will forge personal relationships with each other and bond as friends, or become an extended family or clan. So that was, that's the whole hope of that. So the year and a day period during which the applicant will be expected to keep a magical diary and a dream journal. So he or she may also receive training in developing psychic powers, astral travel, the attainment of trance states in the realm of, the recall of past lives. So, in the later stages of the training, the practitioner may also be expected to carry out solitary rituals or join in witch rituals practiced by the group. So, initiation is defined as the admission of a person into a mystery society or religion, and it refers to a new beginning. In terms relative to the craft, it is a rite of passage and the first step on the great quest for the Grail. So, direct gnosis, pretty much. Divine knowledge of the Godhead. So, as Robert Cochrane explained, I love this man. So, the faith is concerned with truth, total truth. It is one of the oldest religions and also one of the most potent, being as it does brings man into contact with the gods and man into contact with self. And that was in 1965 that he wrote that. So it's pretty interesting. So in purely spiritual terms, initiation into any form of witchcraft should lead to a heightened state of consciousness. And that's basically what my entire life has been. It's been leading up to higher states of consciousness and ascending, and what we all do every day, throughout the years of our practices, or of whatever we practice. So during this, the initiate contacts the other realities that exist beyond material confines of the material world. So if the initiate has not previously experienced this realization, then the first contact with the unseen can be intensely emotional and a traumatic experience and change their lives. Yeah, I can understand how that could be traumatic. Pen, seeing Pen in my window at, 13, 12, or younger. Yeah, it can have long-lasting effects. So in rare cases, it can lead to mental or emotional instability and even physical illness. Yes, it does. You can. I've experienced all of it, so. But yeah, now it's not. That's not where I am. I'm past that. So, there are certain key elements in traditional initiations, such as the probationary period in which oral teachings are passed on to the candidate. So, in the actual rite of initiation or induction, there may be an ordeal that the candidate has to experience and suffer to prove their sincerity, and that they are worthy of entering the craft. So, the central part of the initiation ritual is the passing of power from the initiator to the initiated. Now, in the old days, this might be through a sexual rite of induction performed by the witch master or the priestess, depending on the conditions or the candidate's gender. So, but today it takes a variety of forms, which, while different, are no less potent. So, this act links the initiate to the patron and ancestral spirits of the coven, clan, or tradition, and is followed by an oath of allegiance to the craft. So yeah, I mean, it's very simple. So now a new name is usually given to the initiate, and then he or she will be known by it in the circle. So the ritual ends with the formal introduction of the new member of the assembled coven, followed by the communion or sacramental meal shared by all those present. So in the old days, a formal pact with the Lord God was signed in blood of the initiate, and their name was added to the list of existing members in the coven's black book. Easter eggs. At least they did their research in Sabrina. They did do their research. So, alright, now, they would also be given the Diablo Stigmata, or the Devil's Mark, usually a small circle or a small ritual tattoo on the arm or hand. So this could be in the form of a spider, toad, or snake, or perhaps a series of dots or a magical symbol of significance to the coven or its parent tradition. So yes, still have yet to get my tattoo. So today, some traditional witches, like those following the Whitestone tradition, still carry out these archaic rites, including sexual induction, but in practice, these may cause and has caused problems in our modern society, and this is going to be it. It's going to cause problems. There are forms of initiation into the old craft that some consider are just as valid as the full physical version above. So others include the transmission of occult knowledge from an initiated witch to a student using magical texts or grimoires. So various homemade manuals of magical practice exist in traditional witchcraft, and some of the historical examples are the Devil's Granary, the Bonesman's Bible, and the Devil's Plantation. Those actually sound really, really interesting, so I'm going to have to look those up. So connected with with this form of literary transmission is also the passing down of passing on of magical artifacts from one witch to another. So these might be wands and staves, fetishes or spirit images, or special stones. Such power objects may provide a physical and psychic link with past practitioners or with the spirit force that occupy them. So it's really interesting, a different way of passing down knowledge, which I like that. So this leads us to the vexed question of self-initiation, or more correctly, self-dedication. So opinions differ on this subject, but what is that? The late Evan John Jones, who was a member of Robert Cochrane's coven in the 1960s and revived the clan of Tubal Cain several years later after his death, was adamant that it was a valid form of entry into the craft. He said, quote, "If a person is of serious intent, one night they can go out at midnight on the full moon and make their own pledge to the goddess and the old gods in truth, honesty, and sincerity. This sort of pledge has as much validity as any formal oath sworn to the group," unquote. Now, not all old crafters will agree with this statement. No, I don't even think I agree with it, but for self-dedication, I agree, not self-initiation. So they insist that the candidate must go through a proper initiation ceremony into an established and accepted group, lineage, or tradition before they are recognized as being true members of the old faith. So once a new member has been accepted into a coven and or tradition, they are given instructions on the symbolism and use of the various ritual tools of the craft. So, in traditional covens, the principal ritual tools are the stang, the besom, or broomstick, the cauldron, a stone, the drinking cup, and cords. Some covens also use a black-handled knife, a white-hilted knife, and sometimes a sword, and the scourge. So, just a little insight into that part. Alright, so additional. I just have to remember the word additional, which I probably won't. So I probably have to write that down like right now before everything just. What was I going on about? Additional. I hope. So it would be, yeah, we'll start off tomorrow with additional ritual objects. But yeah, it's really interesting how all these people see these, initiations and whatnot very, very differently. So, I mean, it's pretty interesting. It's very neat. It's very, very helpful to see all of these, different literal historical people, do these things and, hear and read about them, and then we have that knowledge. And so it's kind of, I kind of agree with the passing on of knowledge that way. But yeah, it just takes practice. You can't just, boom, you have witch blood, okay, you're connected to somebody that was, a witch in Salem, which probably was not a real witch. So yeah, that does not matter at all. So, but yes, alright guys, I love you all. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. So, I love you all the way from, of course, Venus, all the way back down. And I feel very short because my hair is down. So I love you guys. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. And everybody please be safe. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.